We have two TBCB companies we have received with an annual tariff of 361 crores. The NCT cost is 3070. So both are like Rajasthan projects in phase 3, part C1 and part H2 projects we won. So with that, up to Q2, we won 4 projects in the TBCB in the current year with an annual tariff of 703 crores. And the NCT cost is 6,393 crores. So this is up to Q2. Subsequent to that, yes, we won one more project in phase 4, part A. So that is the NCT cost is something like 4,700 crores with a tariff of 273 crores. With that, the current year, yes, we have won the projects worth somewhere around 11,000 crores. This is in addition to what we won in the last financial year in the February and March, something like 9,000 crores. We won 11 companies we won last year and this year 5. So put together it's around 16 companies SPVs we will be acquiring. Maybe in another few months we will acquire this 1 or 2 SPVs also. And 2 more bids we have submitted for which the ERA is to happen. The major highlights covers the Leh Ladakh project, where the cabinet approved the phase 2 13 gigawatt RE project. It is a line from Pang to Kaital with a cost of 20,700 crores. It envisages 40% of the financial assistance in the form of grant, and it has a timeline of like 5 years is the completion timeline, and being a difficult terrain at a high altitude of like 4,700 meters above sea level, and it has a minus sub-zero temperatures. So this is the working conditions. There is hardly 5 months to 6 months in a year, so it takes 5 years to complete. So this is a evacuation of 13 gigawatts, but the line is 5 gigawatt line. So maybe the generators may come up with the battery so that the PLF may be little more than that. So this is one project which is recently cleared by the cabinet, and we are yet to get the formal communication from the government regarding the modalities of how the grant will be given to us, and so subsequent to that we will take up for the investment approval. But we have already started the studies of front-end engineering design. It envisages in 2 parts it is to be done, and the first stage study has already started, and then 2 HVDC players have been given the job. They are already undergoing the study, and then we expect that to complete by the month of March, April. They should be able to give the first phase report. Subsequent to that, so they will undergo the second phase of study, and then we have to take up the bidding. So this is about the Leh Ladakh project. Next. In the project execution, yes, we have commissioned 1 TBCB Power Grid Bikaner transmission, and 2 STATCOMs at Badla and Bikaner have been commissioned, and 6 numbers of ICT has been commissioned during this quarter. And this has added a 3100 MVA capacity and 1 substation and 306 circuit kilometer of transmission line. About the capex, the cumulative capex in the first half year is 4,246. This is against the yearly target of 8,800 we have envisaged this year. And since we have won some more companies, yeah, this is likely to go up. Maybe we may be touching the 5 figures this time, so it should cross 10,000 crore this time. But as of now, up to September, yes, we have achieved 4,246. And capitalization is also almost equal. We have capitalized 4,000 crores. It was 1,600 crore in Q1. Now we have added another 2,400, and then it becomes 4,000 crores up to Q2. As far as operational performance, yes, we continue to be above 99.75. Now it is 99.85 for the first half year. And the trippings also compared to the previous half year, yes, it has come down to 0.16 from 0.20. The standalone performance in the Q2 is, yes, our revenue has slightly gone up from 11,004 to 11,206, and the PAT has also gone from 3,651 to 3,834. Income also similarly in the consolidated accounts also, it has gone from 11,349 to 11,530, around 200 crores more. And in the PAT also it is from 3,650 to 3,781. In financial performance for the half year, the revenue is 22,094 and the PAT is 7,377 compared to previous half year of 7,417. Similarly, in the console also, it is at 22,788 is the income, whereas the PAT is 7,379 compared to the PAT of 7,452 in the previous year, because last year we had some one-time incomes which normally directly contributes to the PAT. That is why the PAT is slightly more compared to previous half year and in the console as well as the standalone. These are all some of the figures which are already available in the SEBI, our NSE websites, that the detailed results where the transmission charges, total income as in the quarter it rose by 2% and the PAT rose by 5%. Here you can see that we are showing as continuing operation as well as discontinuing operations. This discontinuing operations signify the telecom services which the board has decided to carve out, and then we have formed a separate SPV, Power Grid Tele Services, in which the telecom operations will be taken up from the 1st October 2023. So as per the requirements of Ind AS, this is to be shown as assets held for sale and to be shown as a profit from discontinuing operations separately. This is of course in the standalone as well as, but in the console there is no difference. It will be since it is in the same group, you will not find this line in the console. So put together, if you see the profit after tax is 3,834 against 3,651 of the previous quarter and registering a 5% growth in the quarter to quarter comparison in the standalone. Next, in the console, yes, we are separately showing the telecom consultancy and transmission charges separately. Telecom income is 202 crores this quarter, and the cumulative half year is 393. Yes, last time also in the investor call, I think we targeted like 800 crores of a transmission income for the telecom income. For the current year, I think according to that, yes, we have already reached 393 in the first half year. And consultancy charges is slightly coming down compared to the previous years, because yes, we have a NERPSIP scheme for the last 2-3 years, and then we have commissioned major elements in that, and then it is slowly coming down, and then we are looking for other business opportunities in the consultancy so that it will slowly again improve. And in the console also you can see that the profit after tax is 3,782 against 3,651. It is registering a 4% growth. These are all about the some of the balance sheet figures where we have a gross fixed assets has crossed 2,70,000. It is 273,276, 2.73 lakh crores in the consolidated and in 2.57 in the standalone. And we have a capital work in progress of 14,900, closely 15,000 crores in the console. And our debt equity is now 5842 from 5941. It was in the last quarter, and last year it was 6139. Now slowly it is touching 5842. Return on net worth continues to be 8.51, and the book value has shown as 93 because we have issued a bonus share. So last time it was 114. So subsequent to the issue of bonus issue, the book value is showing as 93.22. Otherwise, there is no decrease in the book value because the company continues to be in the profit only. There are some other key important informations which are all of interest to you, like this is one income from previous periods and interest on differentials which contributed more in the last quarter last year in the Q2 as well as last year in Q1. So which is lesser in this current year. That is why you can see that the profit in last year was slightly more in the half year compared to the current half year, because last year we had the tariff orders for Raigad Pugalur, so where we had to account the income of the previous years, so that's why it was more. As regards the equity infusion in TBCB, yes, it has increased from 3,600 last year Q2 to now it is 4,100. 500 more equity has been infused in the TBCB in the form of equity. Borrowings cost is average is 7.61. The interest rates have slightly hardened. Last quarter we were showing it as 7.59. Subsequent to the increase in the domestic rates, slightly the average rate has gone up because we have some bonds which are all of fixed rates, and then we have some floating interest rates, term loans and other foreign loans, because of which slightly it is increasing. Of course, most of the interest rates in the RTM are passed through. And coming to the telecom performance, the income is 201 crore for the current quarter, and then we have added 36 new customers. And we have a presence almost in 3,000 locations in the Pan India. So now this business has been transferred to the Powergrid Teleservices Limited with effect from 1st October 2023. It is a 100% subsidiary of Powergrid, and this will be taking up the data center business also by the Powergrid Teleservices, for which we gave an approval. The Powergrid board has given an approval of 713 crore as investment approval. We will be setting up one data center in Manesar as a pilot project. So the award is under progress, and then maybe in another 12 to 15 months it is expected to complete. Yes, we are exploring data center in other areas also. As regards consultancy, the income is 155 crore in the current quarter. We got 2 new international assignments. Of course, these are all small assignments at Fiji. One is on some consultancy and another one is on the training capacity building for Fiji. And there are new domestic assignments in the form of like bay maintenance. And then we have international businesses, like we have talks with Kenya. We have submitted our proposal to Kenyan government in association with Africa 50. And then we are in talks with Tanzania. And there is a consultancy works 220 kV line in Sri Lanka. So these are all some of the opportunities in international businesses. And one more JV, we have formed Butwal, Gorakhpur, with a cost of 693 crores with a 50-50 JV with the NEA. Commercial performance, yes, the realization has gone up from the last quarter. It is 92.37 is the percentage realization. And we were getting the payments due against the LPS rules of 2022 notified by the MOP. So far we have received 1,383 crores against the 2,400. This is the monthly installments have been converted against the LPS rules by the 6 discounts which we are receiving regularly. There are some major dues from Tamil Nadu, JNK, Telangana and Uttar Pradesh. We expect this to liquidate soon because the dues of Tamil Nadu is mounting because there was an issue in the tariff of the Raigad Pugalur which was challenged by them, and then recently 27th October the order has been issued by the CERC for making this Raigad Pugalur as a 50-50 component compared to the earlier regional component of 30-70. So we expect the dues of Tamil Nadu and Telangana on this account to come down, and there was no alarming dues from other J&K or Uttar Pradesh. And as regards the work in hand, yes, it's around 50,500. Of course, this doesn't include some more projects which we have recently won and taken up. We can add another 8 to 9,000 crores in that. So somewhere around 60,000, 65,000 crores will be there as a work in hand. Of course, in the new RTM projects which we show 24,300, this includes Leh Ladakh, for which investment approval is yet to be granted because we are waiting for the formal communication from the government. So once that formal communication is received, so we will take up with the board for the investment approval. So that out of this 24,300, that accounts to around 20,700, and then 16,500 and other projects which we are showing includes around 13,000 crores as TBCB and 2,800 as smart meters. So current year capex guidance is like 8,800, the one which we projected earlier, against 5,000 as RTM and 3,800 as others. Now we see a little upwards in that, and it should be somewhere around 10,000 crores. The business outlook, yes, the same slide which we have shown the last quarter also, because only this is out of the 2.4 lakh crores which they envisage against the investment of 500 gigawatt of RE generation by 2030. So in that we envisage a portion of like 1,16,500, and intra-state, yes, corresponding, this is only our estimation, like parallel investments in intra-state somewhere around 70-75% on the 2.4 lakh crore we assumed, and then we assume that some percentage will be coming through TBCB. So that is why on a conservative basis we are showing it as 37,000 crores. Cross-border we envisage as 10,000 crores. Of course, these are all the targets in the next 9 years. On international projects like Kenya, Tanzania, and other African countries, or other Nepal and other countries, we envisage something like 7,500. Solar generation 1,000 crore we estimate, because already there is one plant we are setting up in Nagda, which was recently inaugurated, and then we have awarded the contracts also, and we expect it to commission in another maybe by 12 months. It has got a 85 megawatt of solar generation. And smart metering infrastructure, we project 15,000 crores. This includes the 69 lakh of smart meter contract which we got from the 2 discoms of government of Gujarat. And the data center business, yes, we project 1,000 crores. Of course, this is a target for 10 years. Suppose if we are successful in this Manesar, probably this figure has got a potential to be in the upward side. This is about the almost the outlay in the next 9 years. And next, regarding the sustainability aspirations to comply with the ESG guidelines. So we had an internal target of like 50% of our auxiliary consumption through renewable sources by 2025. This is an internal target, though we have a target of 2047 as the net zero, but we have an internal target to achieve at least 50% by 2025. Net water positive by 2030, and then zero wastage to landfill by 2030. These are all some of the policies have been adopted by Power Grid, and we hope to achieve this. And some of the awards which we got in this quarter is the Certificate of Excellence in Learning and Development as SHRM HR Excellence Awards, Dun & Bradstreet PSU Award in Power Transmission. We have Brandon Hall Group Excellence Awards in Learning and Development area. So these are all some of the awards we got in this quarter. And I think with that I will just pass, and then we can take up the any question and answers from the investors and analysts. Thank you very much.
So, Nikhil, we open the floor for Q&A. I'd request the participants to raise hands, subsequent to which we'll unmute your lines and you can actually ask questions. Alternatively, you can also type in your questions in chat box and we can read it out for you and the management can answer thereafter. So we'll probably take a couple of minutes to assemble the queue. Sure, so we have few of them. Moderator, can you unmute line of Mohit so that he can ask his question? Mohit, go ahead. Mohit, we are unable to hear you. Mohit, we are unable to hear you. Maybe there is some issue with his line. Moderator, can you unmute line for Shreya?
Hello.
Yes, Shreya, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. This is Shreya from Concall Capital. I just wanted to understand this capex target of 10,000 crore. While you've given the breakup of 8,800 crores, could you also give a breakup of this 10,000 crore, which you expect to finally achieve? And then we have this. I have another question on your international projects, which you mentioned that there is Kenya and Tanzania in the as targets, but can you tell me that we've read reports on the undersea cable lines that India is having with some countries where power grid will play a main role. So have you considered that also in your capex for 2032? And if you could just give a little more details on your data center business that you're planning. So these are a few questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Regarding data center, I'll go from that. Data center, yes, we are setting up a data center in Manesar as a pilot data center. We will be setting up 2 floors initially, and then depending upon the business, it can be scaled up to 6 floors. It is a hyperscale data center which is being set up in the Manesar. This is will be taken up by the Power Grid Tele Services, which is the 100% subsidiary of Power Grid. And then your question on international business. Yes, we are doing with Kenya. We have a 40-60 JV with the Africa 50, and then we have submitted our interest to build a line in Kenya. It will be a line owned by an SPV formed for that, and then the project will be executed by that SPV. And on the similar lines, yes, we are in talks with Tanzania also to build transmission lines. We will be joining hands with the Africa 50, and then we are in talks with them how the modalities of recoveries and how the tariff structure will be for that projects. So this is about the projects of Tanzania and Kenya. As regards this undersea cable, yes, there are some. It is in the very preliminary stage. There are talks with connecting Oman or connecting Singapore or connecting Maldives, Sri Lanka. So there are some inter-country connection sea cable projects are under study. As of now, there is no concrete any agreement or order from any of the countries. Only we are undergoing the studies about the feasibilities, and then we are studying with the similar infrastructure available in other continents, and then we can submit a proposal. As far as Sri Lanka, yes, we were given the job of preparing the DPR. So we are in the job of preparing the DPR of the project from connectivity from India to Sri Lanka. And as regards the capex of 10,000, you can assume it is 5,000 crores in RTM and then 3,800 what we have shown. So you can assume 50-50, like 5,000 crores in RTM and 5,000 crores as TBCB projects.
Very helpful, sir. Thank you. We'll take the next question from Anuj Upadhyay. Moderator, can you unmute his line? Anuj, go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, sir, slight confusion regarding to the Leh project. In our last call, we have mentioned the total project cost was envisaged at 27,000 crores, of which nearly about 9 to 10,000 was a grant from the central government, which eventually led to our capex target of around 16,000 crores. Now this figure of 20,500 odd crores, is this the total project cost or is just a partial cost which has been approved by the central as on date? And how much of this the grant will account for?
No, it was initially 20,700. Probably you would have heard as 27,000 crores, but it is this 20,700 includes the grant of 8,000 crores. As such, as on date, the envisaged project cost is 20,700 crores, which includes the grant of 8,000 crores. As such, our capex portion will be 13,000 crores as on date in that project. So this 20,700 includes the grant. It's not 20,700 plus another 8,000 as a grant.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anuj, are you done or you have a follow-up? Okay. Moderator, we'll take the next question from Mohit. Can you unmute his line?
Hi, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Sir, good morning, sir. And I have a few questions. So first on the outlay slide, you were speaking about the target, right? These are targets based on how much you'll win for interstate and intrastate. Is it the right understanding? And secondly, what is the total opportunity size which you think till 2032 for interstate and intrastate?
We have given that interstate as 1,16,500 and intrastate as 37,000. Basically, the purpose is like all interstates are either it should come through TBCB or maybe some portion maybe on nomination basis depending upon the project importance. Is it any national importance or maybe some few base has to come in my substation means maybe through RTM. So this is how we have an visibility almost about the 2.4 lakh crores that is how this will come. As far as intrastate, why we have considered as the 37,000 crore is only as far as intrastate is concerned, normally we consider 80% of this 2.4 lakh crores and in that only 33% of the opportunity is offered under TBCB and with our strike rate of 50%, we are assuming it as something like 30,000, 37,000.
Understood.
So our capex as of now, what we have shown like 50,000 crores in hand and all, that doesn't include any of this intrastate because intrastate are supposed to come through bidding or maybe through any JV route which they will have to decide. So that as on date whatever the projects which we have in hand, that doesn't include any of the projects of intrastate. However, the projects, the outlook which we are showing as 1,80,000 crores for the next 9 years, that includes a portion of 30,000-35,000 crores as an intrastate which we foresee. Assuming that some portion will come through TBCB and maintaining a strike rate of 50%, yes, we should be able to bag something like 30,000-35,000.
Understood. So you are expecting to win 30% or 50% share in the transmission bidding for interstate, and that's how you arrived at the number. Is that right?
Yeah, because the
Understood.
intrastate normally
Interstate,
it's
no,
not
interstate.
mandatory that they will have to come through bidding. Something they may execute on their own, or they may even give it on consultancy. They may form a JV. They may form they can give it as a EPC contractor. So there are so many ways of handling the intrastate projects. So since we are not, and it may differ from state to state also, like now UP has come up with 2-3 projects in TBCB. Some they were executing on their own. MP we executed 1, UP we executed 3. So there are maybe other states will follow that, and then we may get. So that's why the assumption is on the little conservative side.
Understood. So my second question was, why the bidding activity is slow in H1? Are you seeing a strong possibility of culmination of a lot of bids in the H2? And any update on the quantum of bids where tenders have been floated already?
No, I see that the bidding is slow. Now, if you see in this, especially this calendar year 2023, we have won almost around 9 plus 5, 14 projects we won, and if you assume this as a 50% strike rate, around 25-26 projects have already been bid out in this calendar year itself. It was low during COVID period, like in 2020, 2021, there were not much projects coming up through bidding, but now that it has picked up, and then we foresee that the bidding to come. And even if you see, there are so many projects which have already been identified, and then it was in the BPC websites also, for which we will have to submit the bids. Already there are around 59,700 crores of projects which are under bidding, which covers Rajasthan, Kavda and others. So I don't see that it's very slow. Now it has picked up compared to last 2 years. If you see this current year 2023, yes, it has picked up.
Understood. My last question is, when do you expect to award Leh Ladakh project, and when do you expect to commence work? Do you think this will get bid out in FY25? You'll award it?
FY25, it's a little tough, yes, but we see that how the feed study of phase 1 and phase 2 to conclude. After that, probably when the phase 2 study completes, yes, we should have a clear-cut vision that how the BOQ should be there, and then even the HVDC players will be very clear that how their equipments will perform in that such high altitude, sub-zero climatic conditions. So it should be maybe award FY25 in the last quarter. We can try in that. So we are also targeting in the FY25 last quarter, or maybe in the first quarter of FY26. So maybe your assumption is almost is matching. Yes.
Understood, sir. Thank you and all the best.
Sir, if you don't mind, I'll take a couple of questions from the chat box. So first one is actually from Bharnithar. His question is, what is the total capex on 11 TBCB projects won in FY23 plus 5 TBCB projects won thus far in FY24? Second part is, what is the total equity component of this? How much equity has been invested so far? And then what is the total transmission revenue once these 16 projects are fully commissioned?
Yeah. 7 TBCB projects will be something like 8,500 to 9,000 crores as the capex, and then the tariff quoted is 950 crores. And for the 5 TBCB projects, it is something like 11,000 crores, and the tariff quoted will be something like 975 crores. So put together, if you see, it will be something like 1,800 to 1,900 crores when we commission all these 16 SPVs. As regards the component, yes, it can be 80-20 or 90-10 depending upon the requirements. We can put the equity.
Very helpful, sir. Thank you. Second part of this question is, what is the regulated equity of all the RTM projects as of September 23?
Regulated equity, no, return on equity is 15.5. So regulated equity is easy. Suppose we have predominantly all as RTM projects, and then it is something like 90-95% is only RTM only. So you can assume something like 86,000 crores is my reserves and surplus, and then you can assume something like 82,000 crores as a regulated equity in that.
Sure, that explains.
We don't have many businesses which we put equity. So we are putting equity only in transmission businesses, and then consultancy, yes, we don't need to put anything, and telecom we are not putting. It's not a very major investment we have done. So whatever appearing in our reserves and surplus, and we have shown like 4,100 as the equity infused in TBCB, and if you deduct that, it is 82,000. It is a simple arithmetic. I am just telling you, like figure appearing in my balance sheet is 86, and 4,100 I have shown as a equity in TBCB, means maybe RTM is 82.
Got it. Very clear, sir. The second question from the chat box is from Vipul Kumar. So this relates to the balance 26% stake in 4 assets you transfer to Power Grid InvIT. When are you going to transfer, the balance 26% stake to InvIT?
Actually, last financial year, only one project completed 5 years, that is a Kalam, and the quantum is hardly something like 20-30 crores. And current year, so far in balance out of 2 projects have completed 5 years, and one more to complete by December 24. So I think we can take a call in the 4th quarter, and we can take a decision of how mutually, if we are agreeable, we can transfer the balance 26% also. So as such, since these are all a small amount, and then hardly this involves a stake of hardly 500 to 600 crores. So we thought that yes, we can get the valuation done once all the projects gets completed the period of 5 years.
Got it, sir. So Nikhil will take the question from the audio line. Can you unmute the line for Sarvesh Gupta? Sarvesh, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, sir, one more question on the previous lines only regarding Power Grid InvIT. So at the time of IPO, I think, it was thought that this will be a vehicle for Power Grid to monetize their operational assets, and it will free up the resources for Power Grid to probably grow at a faster pace. But what we had seen in the last 1 year has been a complete U-turn in terms of that policy. So A, they have not been able to get the stakes from you as per the scheduled timeline of all these 5 assets. And B, there is no visibility whatsoever in terms of the additional assets which could have flowed from Power Grid, either for Power Grid InvIT specifically or for the world at large. So, sir, then going forward, what is the sort of stance of the management on these 2 issues?
One is about PG InvIT. Yes, I won't be able to comment on that because that is a separate listed entity. Last time, yes, this is there is a agreement where we can, if we are mutually agreeable, we can transfer the balance 26%. So that I told you that this is a very small amount which we thought, yes, we can see the fourth company also gets completed the period of 5 years, and then we can get the valuations done, and then we can do that. This is one thing. About the other one, this other projects, yes, subsequently, yes, because of the NMP guidelines, yes, the transfer of subsequent assets through the earlier mode is not feasible. So that is why we have adopted the method of securitization of the cash flows, and then we were monetizing the assets, which is as per the NMP guidelines, and it complies with the NMP guidelines.
So going forward, you will not be downselling any of your assets to Power Grid InvIT. Is that the right assumption, sir?
No, we can't assume like that. As of now, the NMP guidelines doesn't permit to transfer the shares permanently to an SPV, not only PG InvIT, to anyone. So this is what the NMP guidelines says. So as of now, this is the position.
Understood, sir. And on the normal, sir, on your transmission business now, we've been hearing a lot in media as per the, the big capex plans, which is ahead of us, and government.
Your voice is breaking. Can you be little louder, because it's...
Yeah, sorry. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. So the second question was on the transmission assets. So there have been a lot of media reports that we are seeing a very large pipeline of sort of transmission assets coming into play in terms of because the old assets also need to sort of get into newer ones as they come to 50-60 years sort of a life cycle. So given that, sir, are we seeing sort of an extraordinary growth opportunity for us in the coming few years, or we feel that we will be continuing along the same sort of a growth path that we have been doing in the last few years?
1,80,000 crores in the next years is a little, I think it's a decent figure. It should normally go up from the present level. So there are opportunities. That is why we have shown in that slide that yes, there are more opportunities, and then of course this includes only the RE generation related transmission assets. In addition to that, also there may be some assets coming up. And from the present level of like 9,000 or 8,800 in the future years, yes, there are possibilities of the capex going up. Like next year, we have an initial target of 12,200 as of now. So this year also, when we projected 8,800, now we see that it's going a little upside, and then we should touch at least 5-digit figures this year, and then next year it should be 12,500 as of now, and of course the HVDC projects and are in the cards, and then depending upon the outcome, the capex for next year will be formed up maybe in another 3-4 months. But as you say, yes, there are opportunities in the next few years to higher potential capex.
Sir, finally on the data center business, so what exactly is our strategy in this? Because there are many big players like Reliance, Adani has also entered this sort of a business, and then you need some specific capabilities for building the data centers as well as for putting it out on rent. So what exactly are we planning? Are we planning joint partners, JV partners for building it? Or are we planning to rent it out? So do we need some JV, or do we have existing tenants who would be occupying this? So how are we thinking about the data center business?
No, it is like competing with other players only. As of now, we didn't think of joining hands with either Reliance or Airtel or somebody. So we can also, since we feel that yes, we have done the communication business for a quite long time, last 20 years, and we feel that yes, we can get ourselves adopted in this one, and being a government entity, we feel that yes, we may have an edge about some of the storage orders, we may get it, and then this is the purpose, like we can, and we have like a piece of land in Manesar, so we thought we can utilize this for the setting up of data center. And not only this one, we can even go in for other private lands also, where there are the data centers in existence, we can set up and then we can do. And then as of now, there is no plan to join hands with anybody or joining a JV with any of the players. We thought yes, we feel that we have the capability to do that on our own. If required, we can have some consultants to advise on that, expert advice we can take from the experts, and then we can carry on. So this is only that's why we are setting up one pilot data center. Depending upon the success, we will have a co-location there also, we can have a storage, we can do the business there, and depending upon the success, we can escalate that, we can expand that.
So this is for how many megawatts?
It is about 10 megawatt.
Okay.
Initially about 8 megawatt, and in second phase it will be 14 megawatt.
So 1000 crore is for 22 megawatt.
700 crores. So initial investment is 700 crores. So 1000 we have projected till 2032. Once we are successful in that, maybe this 1000 crores will be going up.
Thank you and all the best.
Hey, moderator, can you take Abhineet Anand next? Abhineet, your line is unmute. Thanks.
This 60,000 crore heating pipeline that we have, what is the timeline for that, sir?
You can assume something like 12 to 18 months maximum.
And then there will be, around a 2-year execution period for those, right?
Yeah, it will be like 24 to 30 months, you can assume. So something will be at 2 years, something will be at 2.5, something maybe at 3 years. Like HVDC will have a little longer period.
And just on supply chain, is there some issue around availability of key equipments like transformer and all?
Yeah, actually, since so many projects are coming up suddenly, so there is a challenge in that transformers and other equipments, and even the HVDC equipments where the RE integration is in full swing in Europe. Because of that, yes, there are issues in that, but still we are
later than 18 months, no issue.
If normally when the timeline is 18 months and above, there are players who can supply the equipment. This is one part, and as far as TBCB and yes, most of our contracts are on firm price. We are somewhat insulated from the price escalations, and as of now, wherever the time schedule is above 18 months, we don't have any issue of supply chain issue. And of course, this is one part of our transformers. Otherwise, predominantly, if you see, we have a lot of power structures, conductor, insulators, so many parts, and then this is one portion.
And last one, this apart from this 60,000 crore project which are under bidding for next 12-18 months, I mean, what could be a new pipeline that could come from the next 1 year perspective?
Yeah, that will be another 67,000 crores which are yet to come for bidding, which is already approved in the NCT, and then another 45,000 crores for which the planning is to happen. So this completes this 2.4 lakh crores. Basically, the transmission envisaged in this 500 gigawatt by 2030 envisaged a 2.4 lakh crore. In that, when the excluding things happened, and then the bids which are in the RFP stages, if you exclude that, another 67,000 crores of bidding to come in future, and another 45,000 is in the initial stages.
Okay, sir. Those were my questions. Thanks a lot.
Moderator, we'll take Kamdidev next. Yeah, his line is unmuted. Thanks. Can you go ahead? Your line is unmuted. I think there's an issue with his line. Maybe we can take Anuj Upadhyay.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for the opportunity again. Sir, could you just mention the cumulative equity we have invested till date across the TBCB project, and this is excluding those 5 projects which we have already transferred to InvIT.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, whatever we have shown, like 4,100 crores
is the equity, and the revenue and earnings from the same during the quarter.
Assets which have already been transferred. Maybe it has got that. That is excluding that 5 companies, because that equity has already been sold.
No, but for certain projects we do have 26% still retained, sir. So does this include those 26%?
That we are actually showing as assets held for sale. So that is not forming part of our PPE as per the standards, and there is an intent to sell. We cannot continue to show it as a PPE, so it has to be showing as investments held for sale.
Fair point, sir. And the revenue and earnings from the same during the quarter from these assets, TBCB.
Pardon?
The revenue and earnings from these TBCB projects for the quarter, if you can share the numbers, it would be helpful, sir.
Okay. As a standalone and console. We have a half-yearly revenue of 1,300 crores in TBCB, and the profit is 413 crores.
That's helpful, sir. Lastly, sir, you referred about 10,000 odd crores of capex target which we are eyeing for the current fiscal. Can you provide similar number of target for FY25, and also if you can throw some light on the capitalization target which we are eyeing for FY24 and 25 as well?
25 from 10,000, it should be on the higher side only. As of now, we are projecting 12,500, but that is the figures as on date. But suppose if we are able to win some bigger projects in the like HVDC and all, it should be on the little higher side. Capitalization, current year we are projecting as 10,000 crores, out of which 4,000 we have already done. Next year we are projecting something like above 15,000, something like 17,000 crores we are projecting.
That's helpful, sir. Thank you.
This includes TBCB also.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll take a couple of questions from the chat box. The first one is actually from Vipul Kumar. Sorry, I think we've addressed that. This one is from Shashi. Have we finalized upon the smart meter supplier yet? If not, will it be through bidding or otherwise?
So smart meters?
That's right. So have you
We have already tie up with the suppliers.
finalized?
Smart meters, we have already tied up with the suppliers. 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 We have already tied up with For the two orders which we got from Gujarat, we have a back-to-back tie-up with the vendors, and then they will be executing.
Supply will start by end of December or early January. Technical parameters have been finalized. Now these are under manufacturing. By end of December or early January, the supply will start.
Got you. Thank you. The other question is from Shivam Gupta. Sir, is there any progress on regulated equity draft? I suppose he is referring to the draft tariff regulations by the CERC.
Actually, the approach paper has already come out, and then we gave our comments and all. Normally, as per the timelines, yes, by November end or December, the draft regulations are published. This is historically we see in the last block year also. So maybe next month we expect the draft to get published.
Yeah, thank you. The other question is from Kaudinya. I guess he couldn't speak over the line. Does the 59,700 crore pipeline include 3 HVDC projects approved in NCT? What is the status of these HVDC projects? That's the first question.
No. Which is to come for bidding.
59,000 only one.
Yeah, in 59,700 there is only your Badla Fatehpur is included. Other HVDCs which are to come for bidding, it has not come. So that will be in the second one, which is like I have told you, like 67,000 crores in which it was already approved in NCT and to come for bidding. In that balance, 2 HVDCs will be.
Okay, got it. Second part of the question is, what is the kind of feedback you are getting on CRC towards the tariff control period?
We don't get any feedback. We only give the feedback. So, on tariff, we are giving our comments on the approach paper.
Sure. I think we'll come back to the Q&A queue. Can you unmute line of Swati Jhunjhunwala, please? Yeah, Swati, go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for taking my question. Most of the questions have been answered. Just one on the surcharge. Could you explain the negative 7 CR surcharge for this quarter?
Negative surcharge for the quarter.
No, surcharge.
Negative income.
No, there was a
less of
They have settled the
No. It was there is in consolidated we are showing it as -7 as a surcharge. Maybe some payments would have been regulated, like some collections would have happened, and then it might have been regulated. That's why it is negative. We will check it up and then revert you.
All right. Okay.
Otherwise, you see that surcharges are coming down because of the regulations in place, where like after 75th day the regulations happen. So that is why it has improved. But this negative we will confirm.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
So we have last 2 questions. The second last one is basically from Mohit. Mohit, go ahead.
No.
Hi, I'm audible. Hi.
Better.
Yes, so my question is, sir, do you see any issue in executing the STATCOM project especially? And how many equipment suppliers are there for STATCOM as of now in this country, who can meet your localization requirement?
No, I don't think there has been a major problem in commissioning of the STATCOM, because this is a technology which is not very old. So therefore the final commissioning takes time, and we think there are 2 or 3 STATCOM suppliers still, like one is Siemens, other is Hitachi, then other players, then Hosung is also there, G is also trying to come. So 3 or 4 suppliers are there in the market. Only this is not a very old technology. That is why commissioning takes a bit of time.
Because I think our expectation is that STATCOM will investment will go up, right? I think there are a lot of numbers of STATCOM has been approved by the CEA, NCT. Is that understanding correct?
Yeah, because of it provides a very much dynamic compensation because of this intermittency in the renewable generation. Therefore, a lot of STATCOMs have to be set up in view of this 500 gigawatt target of non-fossil fuels. So that understanding is very much all right.
My second question is, what are the dues against Raigad and Paglur from the Tamil Nadu and Telangana, and how the payments will happen? Will the CRC allow them some kind of leeway for the payment, or the payment is due immediately?
It is, you see, earlier when the CRC orders came, we were billing and then they were paying also. And in between they have contested in Madras High Court, and then it was referred to APTEL, and then APTEL has set aside the orders and remanded back to CRC for reviewing it, along with the grid controller and CEA and CTL. So this was, and even when we approached the Supreme Court, they have also given a timeline of before 31st October it is to be resolved, and then on 27th October CRC has already issued orders of making it as 50% as national component and 50% as regional component. In between they have adjusted whatever the 1200 crores of payment they have made against that. So we have again requested them to make the payment of whatever the adjustment, and Telangana will be paying now. So they have adjusted around 450 crores which they will be paying now, and Tamil Nadu also has to pay because we have requested them. And the billing of 50-50 will be from the 27th October, that is the date of order of CRC. As of now we feel that yes, it should see an end.
Thank you and all the best. Thank you.
So we have last question from Sonia. Can you unmute her line? Moderator, can you unmute line of Sonia? I think, there seems to be some issue with her line. I think we are more or less done with the questions. I sincerely thank the management for giving us an opportunity and wonderfully explaining what is the opportunity ahead of Power Grid. On behalf of IIFL, I thank you very much and wish the entire team wish you a very happy Diwali. For all the participants, in case any of your questions remain unanswered, do let us know. We'll send these to Power Grid. Alternatively, you can also write to Power Grid team and they do the needful. So any last remarks you would like to make?
Yeah, we will say that yes, one is Happy Diwali to everyone, and then company, there is no change in the basics, and the operational maintenance and the availability is continue to be above 99.75, and then the lot of capex is on the growing side, and we hope that it crosses at least 15,000 next year. This is what our aspiration, and then the a lot of outlook is bright, and then yes, a lot of projects to come in the future years. So this is what with that I would like to close, and once again wishing you a happy Diwali and safe Diwali, and I wish that we end post Diwali we lift Diwali to pass. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate. Thank you.